Thank you. Mental health is one of the
Yeah.
aspects of the whole uh, part of the healthy system. So it's just a small aspect. Apart from mental health, we have other things like the physical health, financial health. That is a part of the whole genetic, the whole makeup of being healthy. So when you say
Yeah.
somebody is healthy or not healthy, it has different parts: mental, physical, social. A lot of these things come together to to make up what a healthy person is. And when you talk about mental health, you're talking about
Yeah.
the state of a person's mind, the state with which a person is able to relate to themselves and
Yeah.
to others. And
Yeah.
mental health can be influenced by a variety of things, including the
Yeah.
physical, financial, academic health of a person. So
Yeah.
you cannot make a diagnosis of somebody with mental health if you don't know what the cause of the problem or what you think is a problem is. So when you talk
Hmm.
about the mental health in essence,
Yeah. Yeah.
you want to think about a person that their life is settled or what they believe is the life is settled, but there are still aspects they are not happy about. And
Hmm.
the way we react to those aspects, the way we're able to
Yeah.
incorporate these aspects will determine how well we're able to function as a person, as an individual, then within our family unit, within the community, and within the country. So if a
Hmm.
person that is deemed not stable in mental health
Yeah.
cannot take care of themselves and for some reason will affect the other people in their family, in their
Hmm.
unit, in their community, and the larger space. So when you're talking about that, you have to be careful what you think mental health is.
Oh wow. Wow. So it means that is like what mental health can mean to me, it might not be what it could mean to some other people. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Wow.
in essence, you can have
Yeah.
a diagnosis
Yeah.
in the mental health setting, but there will be variations even in those diagnoses from one person to another because our lived experiences, our communities where we grew up, what other things shaped us growing up will
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
determine how I will react or how somebody from another country or another state will react, but they will both most likely have the same foundation, but how they present may just be different.
Oh wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome.
So from your experience, right? What are those things that the most common mental health struggles that you feel like people really go through? That you feel like it's relatively common, and because sometimes I could just be under stress, and I think we have so much abuse of mental health. It could just be stress. Oh, I think my mental health is not okay. I feel like we joke a lot about that word so much, because
Yeah.
how can we tell a difference between a normal stress and something that is actually deeper than what we're going through? Like we know that yes, I do not think that this is ordinary stress.
Okay, so like I said, everything
Yeah.
is determined by a lot of factors. Who we are, how we grew up, where we're growing up, what
Yeah.
country we are, and what situation it is that is happening at that time. For
Yeah.
instance, a woman that's just had a baby and has
Yeah.
postnatal depression is different. I'm just trying to clarify. It's different from a
Yeah.
man that has not had a baby and is depressed.
Yeah.
So you cannot say something is common. Everything is shaped by what is happening at that time.
At that time.
So there's no common thing. So you have to know what exactly you are dealing with, or a combination of the things you're dealing with. That will determine what the diagnosis is, what exactly you're talking about, and what the treatment modalities will be.
Oh, wow. So, well, I get you. And when you mentioned the country, I'm trying to relate the way we are in Nigeria right now. And I know that, a lot of people, sometimes they will not even be able to explain deeper that what are the things that is happening to them. And
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that you used a woman as an example. And of course, our focus is women tonight as well. I know the men that joins too, definitely they're learning something. Because, as women, we juggle so much things. And sometimes we do not really sit down to understand ourselves until things have started getting out of hand, you know. So what are those things that women especially should look out for? I know you had mentioned that it varies, because what we're all going through is different. Thank you, Adexby. I'm sure she's shouting at you. I'm sure what we're going through is different, but for women, because sincerely, I believe that women juggle too many things. And like you mentioned, it's being linked to our upbringing, the way we all grew up, how we have been, we've been informed, we've been taught that we can do a lot of things, as a superwoman, all of that. But then, how do you think women should be able to rebuild themselves, through all these things? Because a lot of times we don't even know that we are going through these things, and I think that that's the problem. That's the
Yes.
problem. We don't even know.
Yes.
So how do women even know? How are they even able to sit down and say, no, I don't think I'm okay? Because everyone expects women to be perfect, to be okay. You're a woman. Wait, if you know you are not able to deal with this, so why do you have to? Why do you have to have children? Because of all these things, we just try to, okay, I will absorb it. But I know that it is not supposed to be so. I
No,
know
it's
that's not
not.
supposed to be so.
No,
Yeah,
it's not. So to
yeah,
address that,
yeah,
the first thing I would say is that as individuals, we
yeah,
have to know our limitations.
mm,
Know your limitations and know that
yeah,
you do not have any superpowers.
mm,
And one of the things that we should learn is how to prioritize things, how to shelve things, and know that you cannot do everything at the same time. A lot of times, women, we were very good with multitasking. We all know that. We're busy being uh, um, career women,
yeah,
mothers,
yeah,
maybe wives, business people, we're juggling all of these things. And
yeah,
if you're not careful, if you're not willing to tell yourself the truth, you will
yeah,
run yourself aground, and then you may not come back from that. So you will start, from my own experience, you will start by carving out, even if it's 30 minutes of your day, to
yeah,
yourself, not to do
yeah,
anything, not to sleep. You're not sleeping. It's not because you want to rest.
yeah,
You just want to carve out 30 minutes of your own time to yourself. You can just sit in a dark room and reflect. Don't worry. It's just you debriefing, telling yourself that, okay, I've done this, I've done that. I need to be quiet for this couple of minutes while I get myself going. That's one. Then the way our brain works, you see
yeah,
that sleep we have at night is the time that the body uses to clean out the brain, wash out the brain, remove a lot of stress from you. So if as a woman, with everything you do during the day, you are unable to sleep, the probability that you will run into trouble sooner than you expect is very high. So you have to understand the place of sleep, the place of rest, the place of debriefing. You have to learn to debrief. 30 minutes will not kill you for yourself. If you do that unchecked, you're able to return your sanity. But if you're unable to do that, life will go on if something was to happen to you. Why don't you try and mitigate that bad thing happening by just taking out time? Start with 30 minutes. You'll find out that what you thought you didn't have time for, you will have time and you'll be fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, oh, wow. Thank you. So, the first few minutes of the day, just to sit down with our thoughts and just
Breathe.
reflect. Because I know a lot of us, once we leave the bed, we just
Yes.
get into
Yes.
it. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
1 minute.
That,
1 minute.
I
There's something
mean,
called mindfulness.
okay.
Sorry to interrupt. There's something called mindfulness. Mindfulness is like more like breathing exercises. When you just breathe in deep, in and out, a few times a day. And what it does is to help regulate your heart rate, regulate everything. Your body is more at peace. You can think better. You're more productive when you have everything on ground.
On ground.
Yes.
It even gives you a bit of how your day should go. You are able to prioritize what matters to you. You have that clarity of the mind. I think, you have the clarity of the mind to be able to say, yes, this is what I want to do, not whatever it is that comes my way. Wow, thank you so much. And I just remembered something in that, and I want to quickly trip it in for you. That what do you think about the place of relationships? I know that we have not gone to the alien part of the discussion, but do you think that helps? Because sometimes people think, I don't know, even men that are on this call, I know they even have more, because I said, why should I discuss? What am I supposed to tell them? What does anybody have to say to me? Do you get, like, some people still feel like, do I really need to tell you what bothers me? And I know that some people, they came to that conclusion because of past us. Probably I come to you, I say, oh, doc, oh, this is what happened. Let's even say we are friends. You're not my doctor. Like, this is what happened to me. And next tomorrow, I'm already hearing, some of the things that I've discussed with you, in close. I'm hearing it out and something. I know that there's some people, but personally to you, do you feel like it helps? Or do you think that there's better way people can go about it when they want to seek help? We are still coming to the place of seeking help, but I didn't want to forget that part. That's what I asked.
Okay, so the first person you should have a relationship with is yourself.
Right.
The first person you should have a relationship with is yourself. And when you have a relationship with yourself, you'll be able to tell yourself the truth. You're factual. You know what it is. You cannot lie to yourself. And one of the best things you can do for yourself after you have a relationship with yourself is to seek help professionally. That's the word, the key word, professionally. Because then you know that there will be patient, doctor, psychologist, confidentiality. It's legal, it's binding. And if you hear this kind of thing, or if there's a reason why your matter is being disclosed, not when you're going to hurt yourself, because there's already a clause to disclosure. And the clause is that if as a therapist or a doctor, a patient or a client comes to you and says, I'm going to go home and kill myself, you are bound by law to disclose it to the authorities, proper authorities. That's the only clause. But once that clause is not there, anytime you have a discussion that is professional with a professional and you hear of it, then you can sue the person. So I would say first, have a relationship with yourself. Be your own best friend. You can have friends, that of like minds that you can freely discuss in a safe space with. But even if you discuss it, what are you open? Every time you want to have a discussion, ask yourself, what am I hoping to get from this discussion?
From this, great. I love
What
that
do
part. I love that
Thank you.
part.
Most times we know what we want to do. We're just looking for clarity on how to get there. For instance, for a person in a domestic violence situation, they know that they need to leave. But there are times that things are keeping you there. Nothing should keep you in that kind of situation. So you have to know what your end game is. Do I want to leave? Or do I want to leave to leave? You have to know the difference. Do you understand?
Wow.
And most of the time, the things that keep us are just our fears. They're just a figment of our imagination. The fear that how would I survive? How would I survive with my children? How would I survive with what will people say? You understand? That is the problem. Most of the time, 99% of the time, that is what keeps us. You will be shocked that when you take the leap, two things will happen. You will fly or you land on your feet. Nothing bad will happen.
Wow. Yeah, I love that. And I'm sure that would definitely speak to someone tonight, or someone that is able to, to watch this later. Like, nothing bad is either you fly or you land on your feet. You're not going to die. So if that situation is really out of hand right now, I mean, this is the best time. If you're going through like something that you can't even explain, that you're not even proud of talking about, right? This is the best time. And like you said, I think it's always about the fears. And I would even relate it not to that part, not to marriage. There's some things that even some of us we want to do. There are some steps that we really want to take, but we're like, what will people say? What if I fail? And I don't know why sometimes we don't think like, what if I succeed? It's always about what it is always about what if I fail.
Okay,
I don't know.
The way the human mind is wired. Where half of the time, most of the time in the negative, until you train your mind to think in the positive. Do you understand? A lot of the time, your body, your system will want to run away from change. The problem is not the failure, it's the fact that you're going to change and you're not sure of what the change will bring.
Wow.
So one of the first things I learned was that it is never too late to start something good, something new. Once it's new and it is good, it's never too late to start. Start at 40, start at 50, start at 60, just start. What's the worst that will happen? It will fail. But then the best that can happen is that it will succeed, or it will be the beginning of something successful.
Exactly. And I feel like there's this fulfillment also that comes knowing that you have tried.
You tried.
Oh my God, I love the feelings that comes with, I planned on doing this and I actually started this. And if either it fails or it succeeds, at least your mind knows that you have tried. You are still better off someone that has not tried at all. I think that's another message. That's another meaning. So fear, if you are here, if you are watching this, please let's put fear aside. Like Doc said, she said you can start at any time. As long as it is good, as long as it is okay, just make sure that you start. And really you will be proud of yourself that you really did start. So you mentioned something before. I know that this discussion will keep leading to another thing. You mentioned something that even though our brain, is being wired to think about negative. So how can we intentionally, rewire our mind to think positively? Like, how can Yeah. Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay. So the word is intentionality.
Yeah.
That's the word of the day.
Wow.
Intentionality. Somebody told me something a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what they said was that never combat a negative thought with a positive thought.
Hmm.
Always speak a positive word to combat a negative thought. Because negative thoughts are powerful. Positive thoughts, not so much. But
Hmm.
if you speak it, the whole process of speaking is because you're intentional about what you want to say.
Yes. Yes.
So, for instance, if I were to say, oh, what if I were to fail my exams tomorrow? And I say, why would I? I have prepared, I have worked, I've read, I've studied, I've put in the work. So there's no way I'm going to fail it. But if I do fail it, it shouldn't be because I didn't do everything I was meant to do. Maybe I just needed to do a bit more. So every time you have a negative thought, combat it with a positive
That's
word.
positive.
So when you're doing it positively, when you're speaking, it's because you're not thinking passively. Now you're putting it into action by speaking. And you and I know that actions will always speak louder than what you're thinking.
All the
I may not
time.
know what you're thinking, but I will
Yes.
hear what you're saying.
Hmm.
So always know that everything is intentional. And if you're somebody that you've been able to look to the best of your ability, streamline your life to say, okay, at 2 p.m. I want to do this, at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
I want to do this, at 4 p.m. I want to do this, from 8 p.m. I want to do this. This week I want to cut down my social media time by 30 minutes or by 10 minutes or by 5
Yeah.
minutes. If you're that kind of person, by the time you're intentional, it goes
Yeah.
to every other part of your life. You have to be realistic in your expectations. You can't be somebody like, okay, your life is on social media, you're an influencer and all of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
ideally you spend let's say 10 hours doing your job on the social
Yeah.
media. You can then tell yourself, okay, the other time that I'm not doing my work, but I'm just scrolling through social media, I want to reduce that time by 10 minutes. Don't go and say, I want to reduce by 22 hours or 3 hours. It's not possible.
I
Start
I I, I
small.
can understand.
Start small. So
I get it.
intentionality will do for
It's the
you what
word.
your thoughts will not do. Yes.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
So
You're very
it's all
welcome.
about being intentional with, I love the
Yes.
part that you mentioned, combat the positive with the negative. Like when you think about the negative, you have to really just
Use
counter it
words. Yeah,
with
yes.
words.
Vocalize.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's what words are powerful.
Yes.
I've
Okay.
always loved that. And I'm such a fan
Yes.
of affirmations. Sometimes when you say these things, I know people say, "Oh, she's always saying this." Like, I think
Mm-hmm.
there's power in words. Even as Christians that are on this call, you know how much our words carry. So anytime you think about negative, because I feel like these are the things that also affect us mentally, sincerely.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it actually brings me to, I wanted to ask you that why is it that sometimes, like, for example, 2020, during that is it end start, I don't know what happened that time.
Okay.
Since that time, I have unfollowed a lot of blogs. That was why even Insta blog, all these things, like different things, I have to unfollow. Why? Because I noticed that a lot of times when I watch these things, sometimes when I want to lie down at night, I just find myself thinking about it. Sometimes I would think about the events that happened, the people that died, the people that they killed, and I wouldn't even be able to sleep. So
Okay.
from that time, I said, no, this thing has started to affect me mentally. Sometimes I will watch,
Mm-hmm.
you saying some things like this and you just begin to cry. Like, what is this? So I was like, no, I think I've had enough. So I've had to just unfollow a lot of, okay, I know what I want to see. Even when I come to social media, I know that this is what I want to say. So
Yeah.
to me, what do you think it happens? Is it because we are seeing it, or is it because of the level of attention that we give to it, or what? Like, what happens in that instance?
Okay, so let me say this.
Yeah,
It's a two-way thing. The way the human mind is wired, like I said,
yeah,
we hold on to negativity a lot. Do you understand?
yeah.
So you probably forget somebody giving you something good 10 years ago, but you
Mm,
remember something bad that happened 10 years ago. Our
always.
brain, the human brain, will hold on to things. The human self hold on to things, especially the negative, because the negative things really take much more emotions than the positive
True.
things. So for
Wow.
in this situation, I usually
Yeah,
have to advise
yeah.
unfollow anything that will not give you
Mess with
peace.
your brain.
Unfollow
Mm,
them. Now, if for some reason you've now taken in some of this thing and it's playing on your
yeah.
mind, then that's another thing entirely. That can be like you're getting like post-traumatic stress syndrome, or from that thing, and then you need to now um get that out of your system. Understand first why you're feeling that way. Address why you're feeling that way so that you can
Mm,
get a solution to what you're feeling that way. You understand? So
mm.
there's
Yeah,
a lot in mental health. I'm going to bring it back to mental health. These little
yeah,
things, a
yeah,
culmination of these little things can
yeah.
cause a bigger problem if it's not addressed. So if you're the kind of
True.
person that, you have all those negativity, you're piling on those negativity, they're now
Yeah.
they're seeping into your everyday life, and you're not able
Mm,
to control them, it becomes a bigger problem. So really,
mm,
you have to know how to deal with them. Seeking professional help. Simple things like going on all this app, the Mind app, all those things will help
yeah,
you
yeah,
understand a lot of the things you're dealing with and how best to help and not. It's not going to forget it entirely, but it will help
yeah,
you
yeah,
cope and be able to push them to the back of your mind gradually,
yeah.
gradually. So when people say time heals, that's a time when time heals.
Mm. Sometimes I used to think time heals. It takes a lot of time. Sometimes I
Yes,
believe it takes a lot
yes,
of time, really,
yes, yes,
especially
it
when it
does
has to
actually.
do with the loss of someone. I feel like it takes a lot of time to
Oh
heal,
yes,
but
oh
really,
yes, oh yes.
really, I feel like time heals sincerely. So let's
It
bring it
does
out. Let's
actually.
bring it down to women right now. I know that
Okay.
we're talking about mental health balancing women. Do you think for women balancing is just like is possible, is not possible, is not achievable, or there are better ways they can do it? I know that you had mentioned it when what started about how women should prioritize something, but because I think we have more people than before, I know that women struggle with balancing a lot.
Mm-hmm,
I know that women
mm-hmm,
struggle, and I also feel like this is why we're not able to cope mentally when some things happen. So balancing, do you think it's something that is achievable, or you just feel like no, we can't really achieve that? Like you can't really achieve
mm-hmm.
100% in all areas of your life. There has to be some trade-offs. But what's your view about it, really?
Balancing is achievable, but you just
Oh
have to
wow.
know your limits. So when you
Mm,
say balancing,
yeah.
we have 24 hours in a day. You are expected to
Yes.
sleep for 8 hours. Do you understand? So you have
Yeah.
16 hours. Yeah. In that 16
Okay.
hours, you should
Yeah.
get at least cumulatively get about 1.5 hours to 2 hours of rest in that 16 hours. Do you understand?
Apart
But
aside from the 8 hours.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So you should get at least 1.5 hours to 2 hours of intermittent rest. Don't wait until you have 30 minutes. You can take 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here, stretch your legs, come back, breathe, mindfulness. Those are the kind of, that was what I was telling you. All those kind of things. You can just give your step that gap and know that you are limited as a person. You will not die if you don't do it all in one day.
Right.
You have to know how to shelve. For instance, busy mother, you work. Even if you don't work, having 2, 3 kids, even one child at home alone is work on its own. You don't need to wash the clothes every day. You can do it every 2 days. You give yourself that 15, 20 minutes of that day to rest. The next day you find something else to show. So balancing is very possible. You're the one that just wants to be Wonder Woman. You can't do it. If anything was to happen, your husband, your family, your kids won't survive. So balancing is possible. You're working extra hard to earn extra to give your kids. The thing is, the only thing, this is debatable, you owe your kids on the long run is a good education. They will be fine.
They would, really.
Don't kill yourself. So these things are achievable. You will find out that back in the days when we were growing up, we didn't get everything we wanted. Maybe that was why we felt now that we're grown, we need to do everything.
We want to do it at once.
Thank you. But you have to balance. And once you're able to balance, I understand that I'm not super. There's nothing super. I'm just another human being. Once you're able to do that and you are realistic, there's nothing that will happen. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So balancing is achievable. You're just the one
your limits.
You're overstressing it. You want to do this. You want to be seen. You want people to see you as your kids are the best in class.
I know. A lot. Women, oh God. I feel like the message should reach a lot of women.
I want to be out there. I want to be seen as the best. Who are you competing against? What is the competition?
God bless you. Like, who did you want to prove a point to?
You will have a child, they'll say have to. You will have to, they'll say, why are you stopping at 2? Have 3. These people will not help you pay for your child's school fees. At the end of the day, you will send your child to one school that you know that
you can afford.
But if you have one that you can pull your resources, put into a good education, let them go. I met a family a few years ago. They have one child. And the child is the white, the white child, white, everybody white. And the child is going to the uni without student loan. And one day she and I got talking and she was like, babe, she calls me babe. She's a very much older lady. She says, I have one child, but my child is without debt. She doesn't need to think about paying back.
Wow.
I don't have a house to leave to her, but I know that the over 60,000 that she will use to pay student loan or 70,000 she will use to pay student loan back. Let her use it as a down payment for a mortgage.
Wow.
So women, we just need to know the people that are around us. Who are we competing against? Why are you competing? That's the thing. Why are you competing in the first place? I don't get it. You'll be fine.
Honestly, in fact, I feel like you have said a lot of things sincerely because it's borders. really.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
time women are saying, like, sometimes I'm like, who do you want to prove a point to? Who do you want to prove a point to? That, oh, I'm able to undo everything. But when the
Mm-hmm.
chips are down, it comes back to you
To
and you
you, yeah.
only. And the
Mm-hmm.
kids, and I love the fact that you mentioned that the best thing you can give is just give them morals, give them good education, and they
Mm-hmm.
will be fine.
It'll be
Because
fine.
I was telling a friend, was it last week? I said, in some years, these children, right, that were, everything was the perfect. All of them, they're going to be scattered around the world. And sometimes you're going to have to call them. Sometimes, "Oh, okay, mommy, I'll call you back." you know,
Oh, bless
and
you.
then you have to like, why? So women, you just have to breathe and know that there
Yes,
is
great.
really nothing super. There's really nothing super. Thank you so much, Doc. I
You're
love the
welcome.
fact that you said balancing is achievable. We just have to
Mm-hmm.
know our limits. We just have to
Mm-hmm.
know our limits.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So I think that leads me to, so when you say a woman, let me say for example, like, what does a mentally and emotionally balanced woman, what does it look like in the real life? So when you say
Okay.
yes, a mentally, emotionally balanced woman in real life, in practical, who is she
Yes.
really?
Okay. So that's the woman that knows her limits.
Woo! Hmm.
A woman that knows that
I
some
love
things
that.
can be done and some things cannot be done. And some of the things that can be done should not be
Yes.
done at that time. And some of the things that cannot be done does not mean that they will not be done later.
Please, you need to know. You need to repeat that. I need to hear that very well. My audience needs to hear that very well. Thank you.
So that's the woman that knows that
Yeah.
what can be done. What cannot be done cannot be done. And what can be done does not mean it has to be done at that time. And the things that cannot be done does not mean that they will not be done later in the future. You just have to understand
Wow.
the signs of your time.
Wow. Wow.
Thank
Wow.
you. Okay, let's say I want to do a PhD now,
Yeah.
but I know that I'm not mentally ready for a PhD.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to do it now. It cannot be done
Wow.
now. But by the time I become mentally ready, I will do it in the future. And the future can be as soon as next month. So
Wow.
you just have to know the signs of time. You have to know
Hmm.
the signs of your time. Have a timeline. Have a list of the things you want to do for yourself, but understand the time.
Hmm.
By the time you understand the time, you will be
Yeah.
fine.
Wow. So a mentally balanced woman is simply a woman that knows her limits, that's able to
Thank you.
prioritize. Wow.
That's it.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really, even personally, the session looks very calm, like very mindful, and I love the way you're digging it serious, little by little. Thank you so much. So,
You're welcome.
let's go right into the healing process, right? I know that, when you started, you mentioned that some of us, especially the millennials, there's some odd-won disappointments, that even silent pains that we have
Mhm,
carried for so long. You
mhm.
know, how does this thing affect our outputs? Because the reason why I mentioned it, sometimes when I hear some people speak, sometimes, even though I'm not a professional, but then there's sometimes that you can still see the hurts, right, in their faces, even when they say these things. I know that people used to say, okay, you need to see someone or something, but what's your opinion about that? And how does it really affect our output or affect other things? Okay, maybe someone that had maybe pains in the past, maybe abuse, it could even be marriage, it could be anything, disappointments and all of that. How does the experience affect the way of life right now at the moment? And what can the person do? Let's just say that.
Okay, so a lot of times,
Yeah,
especially from our part of the world,
yeah,
we have been things have been done to us that we are seen as normal but are not normal.
mm,
And subconsciously we've carried it into our present, and we will carry it into our future if it is not dealt with. So
mm,
in essence, how does it affect us? It affects us in
yeah,
everything. Very little things like how we react to people. A lot of
mm,
the times, your reaction to a situation
yeah,
is not spontaneous. It's not spontaneous. It's something that's been back there. It's just there in the background. So when something then comes to you, you react to it in such a way that it's coming off your experiences, your lived experiences. That's the way you say it. Let me give you an example.
yeah,
Somebody can look at me and say, "Oh, you're black,"
yeah,
and somebody can say, "Oh, your black is so beautiful." Those are
yeah,
two different things, and
right,
how I will react to them will be
yeah,
different. So think about it. A white person comes to me and says, "You're black." Another white person says, "Your black is so beautiful." These two people are white. But if I've had like a racist encounter in the
thoughts
past, or encounter the person that told me you're black, first thing is I'm
you
going
would
to defend
automatically,
myself.
yeah, yeah,
But the person, another white person that says to
mm,
me, "Oh, your black is so beautiful," I'm like, "Oh, thank you." That way, I'm not holding up a guard.
yeah,
The same thing happens to us with all our experiences. How we react to them
yeah,
is not a single thing. It's not, it may look spontaneous, but it's something that's been in the background all this while. And it's just
mm,
coming to the forefront. How do we deal with them?
yeah,
First, recognize that you've been hurt.
hmm, good,
Recognizing that there's a problem is the
yeah,
first step in dealing with the problem. I don't know there's a problem. If you like, do anything. I don't know there's a problem, so I'm fine. But once I see it as a problem,
yeah,
then I want to deal with it.
yeah,
Now you've recognized that there's a problem. Ask yourself, what was my contribution to this problem?
hmm, I love that.
Be aware.
Mm,
Always tell yourself, I said from the beginning, tell yourself the truth.
the
Be
truth.
aware.
Mm,
So now that I recognize my contribution, what
yeah,
led to that contribution?
hmm, wow,
First, don't forget the progression. I recognize
yeah,
there's a problem. I
yeah,
recognize my part of the problem.
catch, mm-hmm,
Now I need to recognize the other person or the other people's part of the problem.
yeah,
The environment's part of the problem. Let me give you an example.
yeah,
So federal government of Nigeria was
yeah,
supposed to have free schools and all that. So
yeah,
if as a student,
yeah,
as a pupil, I want to go to school, but my mother decided not to take me to school, and I cannot cross the road. I
mm,
recognize that the reason why I wasn't educated is because
yeah,
from the beginning my mother did not take me to school, not because I didn't want to learn.
yeah,
So now you've recognized that you were blameless in this, your mother was this, but then if you ask your mother will now say, "Oh, when I took you or when I went to inquire, they told me that you do not qualify to come to the school."
mm,
So one, you recognize there's a problem, which is
yeah,
your level of education.
yeah,
Two, what could I have done at the very beginning to mitigate it? Okay, nothing from my side. My mother's problem, she dealt with it. The government's problem, did they deal with it? No. Now
mm,
I'm older. but I still desire to go to school. So I go back to school with people that are younger because I'm more focused on me wanting to get an education rather than how the education is gotten. So you always have to know your own part, explain your own part to yourself, not the part of the other people, and then seek for solution. Depending on what the problem is. It can be from your mom or your professional doctor, psychologist. I am not one of those people that advocates getting some advices from religious personnel. I'm very sorry, because I don't think they are trained in that. So except you want to tell me that they are trained in that, because a lot of times the solution they will give you is based on what they know, which may not be the right thing. And may not be what you need. So if the person were to say, oh, you are going through this, we have an in-house psychologist, a couple of them. We have a doctor. We have this person. Let's seek advice from these people. We can help by paying for your session. Yeah, that's fine. I will say, in healing, understand the problem, understand your contribution, what you could have done, what you did, and now it's out of your hands. Until you get to that point, you will not heal.
Healing.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's it.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So there is a process. It's not a one-way thing. And I love the fact, I absolutely love the fact that you say, what are my contributions to this? Because a lot of times I feel like we feel, I'm hurt, I'm disappointed, and I'm blessed. God bless you.
I'm blameless in all of that.
But exactly. And I feel like if you are not able to recognize the part that you have played, the role that you have played, your actions, inactions, the bad, the worst, the good, there are no healings, really. It's a process. Sometimes we need to sit down and just hold ourselves responsible, accountable to that. Okay, I think I played a role in this. And like you mentioned, even to thyself be true. That was the first thing you mentioned. Like, you have to be truthful to yourself first. Before you're able to do anything. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. My last question is something that you have briefly touched, and it's the fact of faith, religious, like. And the question I actually added is, how do we balance spirituality and mental health without ignoring the need for professional help? I know that you have touched that. I don't know if you want to say more about it, but I think that's absolutely it. But if you want to say one or two things again about it, that's fine.
So, religion, spirituality, professional are three things that shouldn't overlap. They should be kept in their respective places. If I want to have religious thing, then I'll go to the church, to the mosque, to my traditional worshiper, That. If I want, it's like saying, okay, for instance, somebody was to have cancer of something. Do you understand? You now say, don't go to the hospital. They're casting and binding or doing whatever. What are we doing? What's that? Knowing that even the Holy Book says faith without work is total hogwash. So the element here is faith and work. They can come together. But one should not determine the other. Everybody should deal with the thing. I will say this, I will say, even when you use paracetamol and it works for what you want it to work for, it's an answer to a prayer.
It is. True, 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 true.
God will not do for you what you can do for yourself. It's like saying you want to build like a poultry, and I say, oh God, build this place. I want to call down the poultry from wherever. And you're sitting there. God is looking at you like, excuse
What
you?
have you done?
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think everybody needs to know their place.
Mm.
And this is not a religious forum, but I just feel like
Yeah,
everybody needs to know what they're doing. And this comes as part of the compartmentalization and understanding the signs of time that we talked about earlier. If you do
yeah,
not understand it, God, I don't know so much about God, but I know it will not live in a chaotic place. So why do you want to mix everything up and say God to come and feed you when you are not eating? It doesn't. Is it going to take away your appetite? That's not even a good thing. You will do the
right.
right thing at the right time.
Mm.
So everybody just needs to know where to go when they have a problem.
Hmm. True.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that. We just need to learn that they're different. And when you mentioned the other time that, okay, going to church to seek for help, is the pastor a psychologist? And there are different things, there are different ways to this thing. And you mentioned something that, okay, fine. If they're going to say, okay, this is what would you, we would pray for you, we'll do this. But then, oh, we have some members that are
Professionals,
these, that
yeah.
are that, professionals
Mm-hmm,
that they
mm-hmm,
can really help you
mm-hmm.
sincerely. And I think that's it. Really, 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 that's it. Thank you so much. We're
You're
gradually coming
welcome.
to an end. We've really had an amazing time. And for those of us that are on the call, I just wanted to just say hello, hi. Let me know that you are following us and that you're having a good time as well. Okay, we are approaching the end. So these things we have talked about this, so I want you to just speak for a woman that is listening right now, or anyone that is listening that feels stuck, tired, or even broken. What would you say to her right now? For anyone that feels tired, broken, feel unseen, what would be your words for them tonight?
So I would say find yourself.
Yeah.
Find yourself. That's one of the
Mm.
hardest things to do. Once you find yourself, you will understand a
Yeah.
lot about you. Break yourself down. I said
Mm.
sometime that it's never too late to start something good. Finding yourself is a good thing. Put your life now against possibly the next 30 years. If you don't find yourself now, you will be confused for the next 30 years, and 30 years will come. Find
Mm.
yourself now. Stop wherever you are. Find yourself.
Wow.
Every other thing is pointless if you don't find yourself. Look for what your real you. A lot of us don't even know who we are.
Yeah.
A lot of us are just going with the flow. We're just going with the flow. We don't have any insight. If I were to ask, if we were to have 20 people here and I ask 20 people, who are you? A lot of them will not be able to answer. It has happened to me.
Mm.
Somebody asked me at the beginning of the session, who are you? I did not answer for the next 6 sessions because I didn't actually know.
Wow.
And the moment I knew who I
You
was,
were. Mm.
who I am, and who I want to
Mm.
be,
Mm.
everything clicked.
Mm.
Live your life, live yourself. You're an entity. You're not just put into this world to be a slave, a mother, a wife, a slave to work. You're an entity. There's a reason why you're here. Why don't you live that life? Find that life and live that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Wow.
Find yourself. Discover you.
So, mm,
And another thing for
yeah,
mothers that have children, both male and female,
yeah.
let them begin to find who they are. Don't say, oh, this is what I want you to be. No, don't lead your life through their lives. Let them be.
Mm,
I feel like we have a lot of the generation of children coming after
yeah.
us are going to do better actually if we let them choose who they want to be.
Mm,
The world is a beautiful place.
mm,
But choose who you are. Find yourself actually, irrespective of what people will say. Let me say something.
yeah.
People will love you. People will hate you. And none of these things has anything to do with you.
Wow.
Hmm.
Absolutely. 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 People will love
So
you,
why
people will hate you.
and
Absolutely.
none of these two things have anything to do with you. I can look at you today because I'm full, I'm happy, and say, oh, I like Bose. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If they ask me why I like you, I don't know. But if tomorrow I'm hungry, you now smile to my face, oh, why is she smiling? And I will hate you.
Honestly,
And
I
you do not
mean,
even know.
I do not know. And these are the people who want to care about. These are the people who want to care, their opinion and everything.
And you ask
Really.
yourself, I always ask myself, why do I feel the need to explain to you? Who are you on the grand scale of things?
Hmm.
Our problem
Wow.
is wanting to always explain ourselves. Why are you shalaying? Like they will say,
As in, as
always
in.
resist, always resist the need to explain. Because
Hmm.
even if you like from now, and if people that will not like you will not like you. Don't forget that
Absolutely.
they are dealing with their own demons. So it's got nothing to do with you, really.
Hmm.
So
These are the
always
people who want
find
to
you.
impress.
Why are
Hmm.
you trying to impress them?
As in.
Who are they on the grand scale of things?
Wow.
They don't hold your life, they don't hold your kidney, they don't hold your liver, they don't hold your brain. Another mortal like yourself.
I
Why?
mean, why? That's the
Especially
question.
from our part of the world, we always
Really,
feel the need to
really,
explain. And until we
really.
stop feeling the need to explain, somebody will come and ask you, why are you not married? Excuse you. Somebody will ask you, I'm not saying you're married. I don't live on Facebook. I don't you don't have children. Are you looking for your own that God lost? Why are you asking me?
Oh boy. Honestly,
So
it's so.
so
I
what
mean,
so what exactly is the problem? Find you. People will see people might not like you at first if you're authentic
yeah,
to yourself. But they will
yeah.
come to understand you. And if they don't
That's
understand you,
only
let them
that.
be.
That's the problem.
No problem. You're human,
Honestly,
you're doing well. What and if you're able to do all these things, your
yeah.
mental health will be above par. Every other thing is beyond your
Hmm.
power. The one that is within your power, do it.
Hmm.
You know,
Wow.
when we were talking about this, I didn't know we were going to come all this way. I was just going to talk about mental health, depression, how to manage it, and all of that. But we've come
I just
here
wanted
and
us
we're
to be
dealing,
practical. Yeah.
and we're running with the punches, and
Yeah.
and I hope people listening to this will just get something. Nobody's life is perfect.
That's all.
All wearing a mask, but make sure the mask you're wearing is comfortable.
Right. Hmm. Wow.
The mask you're
Wow.
wearing is comfortable. Knowing that when the time is right, you remove that mask. You're just in a
Hmm.
preparatory level. Just make sure it's comfortable.
Hmm.
Do not kill yourself for anybody. It's not worth it. Your mental
Hmm.
health matters. Me, most of the time, I don't, when I go on Facebook, I just go and look at puppies, dogs, because they make me happy.
Right?
So why do I need to follow another person's story that is not my concern? If I see them on the street, it doesn't concern me. So I'm the last to know the trending gist because it doesn't concern me. I don't have any opinion about them because it doesn't concern me. I have no opinion. If it doesn't have to do with another human being, molesting another human being, being mean or nasty to, I don't want to know. Why would I be troubling my beautiful brain
Honestly.
over somebody that, and that is part of keeping your mental health intact.
Honestly, it is.
You know that 5 minutes of not worrying about other people.
Yeah.
You're actually using it for yourself, thinking of what next to do. My friends and I, we have a popular joke. We say, I say it, and I say it in my dialect. Oh, Nero, no.
Yeah.
Because the things that should worry me, I don't let them. Because they are beyond me. The ones that are within me, I will deal with it. So when you worry, you suffer double.
Wow.
When you worry, you suffer double. Whatever will happen will still happen. So what are we talking about?
Wow. Honestly. This, I know that we can go on and on and on and on. And you know, the fact that we are in media time now, everything on social media, you know, I before we came on live, I read something. Somebody said, oh, that if you keep looking at yourself based on what you see, the person said she came to find out that there is absolutely nothing that people do not rent right now. That they rent cars to do stuff, content, they rent houses, they rent wigs, they rent designer bags and shoes and everything. So everything that you see, a lot of them are basically not true. Like, why do you want to judge your life based on all these things? And you know what I've come to find out? I was finding
Because they
some,
have mental health problems. Because they have mental health problems. Everything that makes you want to fix something that is not you. There's a problem.
There's a problem.
There's a problem.
There's a problem.
Why would you? And it all comes from you trying to explain yourself. Don't. Because when you explain and you talk and talk and talk, you will lie.
Wow.
Why do you feel the need to do that?
Wow.
I was telling my girlfriend a few days ago that there's a shop here called Hashtag. A lot of my tops come from there, maybe like £4, £6, £7. You understand? They are mine, authentically.
Right.
I don't feel the need to explain to you why.
No, why?
And it's a mental health problem when you feel the need to live beyond who you are. There's actually a diagnosis for this thing.
Wow.
Yeah. You see people spending money they do not have when they are manic. Some people will tell you they are the king of the world. They're delusional. Somebody will tell you they are this, they are that they are not. So when you go and rent a bag or rent a car or something, you're sick.
I mean,
so that's why I keep saying, like, find yourself, know who you are. Why are you competing? I started with competition. Why are you competing? Why are you not competing to be the first person to want to go to space in Nigeria? Why are you not competing for such good things? You're competing for something that will put you in trouble.
In trouble.
You owe, you're unable to pay. If you live in a society like ours that you're unable to pay, and your credit score goes down, you're in trouble. It's not going to come in one day. You have to understand.
Yeah.
But then, if you find yourself in this kind of positions, you can still do something about it. It might be a bit difficult, but you can. As I say, it's never too late to start something good. That's new. It's never too late.
Yeah.
So you can still work your way back. You understand?
Yeah.
But be true to yourself. To thyself, be true to yourself.
Be true. Wow. This it feels like an healing session, that was just gradually going on and on and on. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. I know we are behind time. No, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for I know you were expecting. I just wanted it to be like a practical thing, like everyday thing that we all just experience sincerely. And I know that, of course, we have more women on the call, and I just wanted to use this, to say, okay, women, this is all about you. We've talked about a lot of things, and I really want to especially appreciate my guest, Dr. Avila. She does a lot of things. You can check her out on her page. This she's talking about is just one part of her. When you go to another social media, you will meet another part of her. So please just visit our page here, and I think also TikTok. You will see other things that she does. She's based in the UK. She does. Oh, do you want to tell us other things that you do? Yeah. Thank you.
Apart from being a doctor in the UK, I have my own aesthetics clinic. It's called Avila Aesthetics UK or Avila Beauty Hub, where we have quite a few things to do, like all the facials, face rejuvenation, body rejuvenation, the Botox, the anti-wrinkle treatment, the IV vitamins, all of those things, very many more, body sculpting, weight loss, all of those things. We do that. We're able to do a wide range of things in our service. We have the hairdresser stand for pedicure, manicure, all of those things for your ombre brow. We do all of those things. It's quite a large thing run by a set of doctors, nurses, social workers. We're just a few people with like minds
come together. Wow.
Yes. Wow. So follow us on Avila Beauty Hub or Avila Aesthetics UK. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're everywhere.
I know.
You'll have a lovely time.
Well I know. That's to all my peers in the UK. Don't worry, I'm going to still repost it and tag all these pages. Thank you so much once again, Doc. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
So much for having me.
I know you're busy. Yeah.